Test, test, test. Hey, there we go. All right. Alright, gang. Fuck it, we ball. I'm winging this. Alright. Hey, everybody, thanks for swinging in. This is already kind of off to a bit of a whack start, but I'm gonna go ahead and see what I can do. Actually, that needs to come way the fuck down. Alright, cool. Shit. So this is definitely pretty hacky, and I apologize for the kind of any technical difficulties or anything in advance, but I've lowered the music a bit. Awesome, thanks, man. Taking it there-ish. I think that's is it desktop audio? Yeah, not only am I learning how to do the rest of this, it's like, hey, you got to learn OBS on top of this in an afternoon. Fuck it. Better? Oh man, that's laggy. Sweet. Alright. Tossing that guy. Alright. So, I think I got everything together. I kind of gave things a bit of a test build to kind of ensure that this wasn't gonna go like too fucky. The only thing that did kind of fail on me was this poor slide where you do last minute filament tests and fuck, things just turn to fucking stalactites on you because like the support just won't come off of it, and then on top of that the few issues, but that was last night. I think I wound up knocking that one out, so not a great call. Fuck it though. All the essential bits I think should be good to go. I've kind of probably started off a little too set up here. Go ahead and get this all knocked out. I'm gonna try my best to keep an eye on the stuff. I don't know what the metrics or the people or the chat. It's kind of, I don't know. You guys will forgive me. It's like I woke up at like 8, started getting some things set up. I was like, I got this. But then, man, you just like, there's never enough time to prepare for stuff, I think. I think it was it JJ in the chat that was saying, definitely could have used a bit of advanced setup on this one. All right, cool. I think I've got basically everything together here. All right, so V2 is a little funky. I kind of plan to keep things rolling a little bit with this, where I'm getting this out of the way before that falls in my lap. And right over the mic cord. Man, I'm awesome at this. All right, wicked. So, I plan to keep things rolling with this one a little bit. Like the setup is kind of the central plate platform where everything just kind of bolts to the pieces in front of you here. So like the plate is adaptable. I've got a couple designs that I'm in the works with. The next one you guys will probably see. I was asked by somebody who wanted to give these kind of a bit of a review if a shotgun was possible. So you guys are probably going to wind up seeing like a Konami Crypt Killer uh, shotgun in the next, I don't know, uh, 3 to 4 weeks or something, if this doesn't kill me. Um, but the plate's pretty easy to put together. Your linear rail bolts to the small pattern of four up front. The remainder of the rail bolts to the slide carriage, and then everything just kind of slides straight in. Damn, we're losing ball bearings. Oh man. All right. And then your solenoid as well kind of mounts to the plate, but that's where your trigger and switch are mounted. Um, the trigger, actually, shit, I should probably undo most of this. This is the the lack of planning and foresight on some of this. Sorry. Had like this bright idea that I was gonna like, oh, let's move away out of my messy workshop up to somewhere a little cleaner by my desk, and that'll make things a little easier. And now things are just kind of scattered all over the place. So forgive me while I stumble through some things here. Fuck it. All right. So I don't know if it's easy enough to see here, but the assembly's pretty easy to put together. Your Xbox trigger spring hooks over the trigger here, and then lays flat against the bottom. So it's kind of got these two legs on it. They lay up against the plate, and then the little like lip that kind of comes up on it is where your trigger kind of wraps around. Once it's in there, you're just kind of sliding it into place, and then it removes the need for like all the wacky spring assembly behind the trigger that takes up tons of space. And a pretty awesome trigger pull. I mean, if you guys have held a an Xbox controller place it, you guys know what like exactly how this feels. It's straight Call of Duty here. So slapping things together is not too bad from here. You're just doing your solenoid to your plate, and then the trigger assembly underneath it. There is a little path, fucking light. Let's see, that the solenoid wires are running through. Just kind of popping that on here, and then fishing those out. It should run straight through. Allows it to sit flush. And then we're just running screws. Like I said, no luck with drivers, so I found a an Allen key on this one. Totally unprepared. I'll work on producing some better documentation here once things are together. I hope this is just like enough to get you guys rolling with like kind of a referential guide. At least watch me stumble through some things, and at the end of things, at least we got a halfway decent working gun. Things are you know, it's it's a beta. It works. It's much smoother, much sturdier than my V1. I'm already kind of digging on it. I had the chance to kind of fire a few rounds off last night, not too much, but so far super smooth, no major issues, no slides. So I have no really idea of what the uh, slide's gonna operate like under load. That's kind of I guess something that I'm working to improve. I did some measurements. So like the weight of the slide on V1 is a little lighter than the huge chunk of the single printed dude here. But things are much sturdier. So like the tolerances are pretty freaking awesome. I'm digging that so far. Things just really just click and snap into place, real sturdy. No slop, no wobble. Um, Thanks to the tolerances and definitely the linear rail, huge improvement there. Um, think it was I think that was definitely a RG 2020 move. Started kind of implementing that one first. Big, big improvement coming a ways from 2022 Tinker Hobo stuff with the V1, building it out of trash and aluminum standoffs. All right, cool. Together, we're in, sliding it straight into the block. Oh, no, we're not. Oh man. Oh, okay. This is the this is what we're on stream for, man. Order of operations all out of whack. As I get my stream legs, things will go a little smoother. All right, pulling back the spring. Dude sits right on. The spring is kind of captured by the carriage, so like it won't come off once that's in there. JJ, would it be easier to pull? Oh man, for sure. if I wasn't if I wasn't still kind of on my my whole stream nerves thing, yeah, for sure. I think I would have probably pulled the rail off before I'm doing this. As I'm kind of rolling through, I'm kind of realizing I'm a little bit more shaky of hand and camera shy than I thought I'd be. All right, so the assembly's together. We're in solid shape. This is going to kind of serve as the core of the V2 platform. So whatever it is that I'm releasing, you're probably going to wind up building some variant of this. The only thing that I have that changes is uh, the carriage obviously is something that's set to change depending on the use case. The solenoid is set to change as well. I do have some narrower, lower power, kind of less uh, intense uh, applications of the V2 platform here that I've been playing with because I know um, the JFZ05 is had a bit of a reputation in the chat. Jonathan, okay, no, thank you. That is a yeah. I'm oh man, I'm all over the place at the moment. I apologize for leaving out some crucial stuff here. Yeah, the screw sizes. So M2 up front for the linear rail, M4 for the mating screws for the solenoid. Everything else is M3. It just happened to be that the linear rail is like the cutest thing and takes the tiniest of screws. So those kind of threw me for a little bit of a loop on kind of ordering parts. But I think if you're the Amazon type of guy, or hell, I'm sure AliExpress has a handful of options to take care of you. There's like your M2, M3, M4 whatever assortments where I know people love buying sets of 10,000 screws at once for like $8, but that'll get you set. Lengths, let's see, you're looking probably like 5 mil and I don't know, 10 mil, respectively. But that should get you all set. Um, the oh shit, that's right. Oh, and the trigger screw. Yeah. Another dude. I'm sorry. One sec. Let me refer to my notes. I'm all tripped up with this one. I'm gonna thank myself, past self for the notes. Awesome. Here we go. I was off. Definitely off. Um, M4, M3, M2 on the trigger, and the trigger. Let's see. Again, sitting right around probably 20 mil, roughly 20 mil, and then that's just secured on the other end with I've got a matching nut that's just kind of Loctited a little bit in there, but I've never had. I mean, I guess I haven't done the extensive testing, but no major issues or anything with like the screws backing out or anything like that. It's in pretty tight quarters, so it's pretty closed. So I mean, I not something that I foresee happening, but you know, Loctite's your buddy. Cool. So here it is. That's basically V2 platform. The shell becomes the super easy part, and now all of this was reprinted to test for today. So last night reprinted, all fresh parts, with the exception of this fucking. Um, the rest of these are in good shape. Just sprues removed. Everything, or not sprues. I'm sorry. The the supports removed. Any kind of like flashing or anything that might have occurred due to my sloppy printing. Um, like I don't know. I've got the bamboo now. It doesn't really let me like I haven't had to tweak it, but like um, there is a little bit of squish on some of the plates, so I get a little bit of like what do they call it, like elephant foot around the bottom of like if this is touching, there's a little bit of kind of squish at the bottom, so I have to go around with a exacto a little bit, give things a little bit of a scrape or whatever, or a deburr. Seems to do the trick. All the movie magic that I've performed in preparation for this, with also the exception of I've got a one of JB's PCBs populated and kind of ready to rock. So I'm just reading the chat. Sounds like we can get a set with a standard kit around $10. Hell yeah. Uh, we'll kind of like with the V1, I released things. It was like easy-ish to source stuff and put it together, and it wasn't too big a pain in the ass. But then over time, it was like, hey, we found some more. Uh, um, you know, I guess if you were hanging in the Discord, I feel bad for the strictly Thingiverse or Reddit or like Facebook goobers that were like probably not up to speed on too much going on with like the updates and the fixes and my poor documentation. I don't, man. I'm just kind of I've been a little loose with the support of things, but I'm sure over time we'll kind of knock out a kind of a more efficient means of sourcing stuff, building stuff, kits, parts, whatever. Um, the This is the platform that I intend to kind of stick and support, kind of going on or moving forward. Um, this kind of gives me the flexibility that I want. So I was looking at a few things with like um, larger scale stuff, rifles, SMGs, whatever. There was somebody that talked up kind of a open source framework that had some potential for like an SPI screen for like silent scope coming, but like I don't know if the ball if ball's in their court, if they get that rolling, we'll see what we can knock out. Some little like round LCD kind of stuff. But in the meantime, you probably see some pistols, shotgun SMG, some things that I want to play with to put some like beefier parts and things. Um, some cooler mechanics because I kind of want to mess around with the mechanical stuff. I have a lot of fun with that. Um, um, and hopefully the community to an extent once I've got the fusion files where I want them, where I'm not embarrassed of all my 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 shitty timeline and all the edits I've made improperly to these things. As somebody who's not an engineer, just kind of freestyling things in Fusion, um, I'll release this for people to take a crack at as well. It's super easy to um, and I know I'm probably speaking with some kind of bias here, but like it's pretty easy to hop into um, like Fusion or like your CAD package of choice and then like build off of this. Um, I might move to a point where I'm sharing my screen a little later, but like taking like two pieces parts and like just drawing out like a 2D sketch and then extruding and then having like the basic shapes for these and then and being able to mount those up and then like kind of the mounting geometry and stuff like all fairly easy to sit down and knock out. So like if you were wanting to take a crack at it, you've got some cool options available to kind of get wacky with it. The Tinkercad crackheads that are in the chat that make really beautiful things somehow with that awful package. Hopefully have a field day with it. Shit, chat's going. Let's see. The bearing is lighter than the rail, so you might want to consider attaching the rail to the bottom and the bearing to the slide. Potentially. I was just doing that in the meantime as a kind of a it was a little easier to build, easier to assemble, kind of easier to kind of work around things. Though you're right, it might be if I'm just gonna be bolting the entire assembly, kind of like how I did earlier to this thing. Flipping it might not be a bad choice, especially considering that this sits well within the dimensions or the footprint of the bottom of the carriage. I don't know if it gets to the point where like if there's some um, serious issue with the moving weight or to minimize the moving weight of things. Um, I think I'll definitely hop in and give that a bit of a flip. Let's see, just use the nylon nuts for the trigger instead of Loctite. That's another awesome deal. Or just fucking YOLO it, man. Super glue. Get weird with it. Um, just curious setting lowers the flow on numbers. Yeah. Well, actually, you know what? Now I'm out of Kira. I've been doing the bamboo thing. So another thing that I might wind up trying to I'll probably break the stream if I try and fuck with OBS. But the bamboo's weird. You just throw your file in. Um, really you got to tell it, like what the filament settings are, because like whatever their like secret herbs and spices blend of PLA is, prints beautifully 100% of the time. Never had a problem with it. I don't know if this is it's like Sunlu or Inland. It might have been Inland. I did make a trip to Micro Center recently. Gray. Generic PLAs do need tuning, and I'm learning that because that's how you get the fused mist of like stalactites off the side of the the slide that I was dealing with, where things just don't want to come. That and then my sloppy overhangs and just it works. It's $18. Gotta love that. I don't have to wait for it to ship. Even though I think they're doing a better job. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, I'll probably have to play with the settings a little bit to mess with a few of those things. The um, what was their AI what's its and their pressure advances and their camera calibrated artificial neural uh, kind of cyberdyne whatever. It's shit's wacky. Um, all right, moving forward from here. Probably gonna be rocking out the brass inserts. there's a couple going on here, and I've worked to kind of hide where the mounting screws are, so that you're not going to kind of be seeing them. As much as I loved the kind of the chunky V1 design, um, it's a little big, is a little like meaty, and then these maybe look a little more industrial than um, they probably need to. I know that's probably the biggest flag that I've got, either from like people that I've like shown it to, uh, um, family members, friends, whatever, makerspace people. Like, oh, this could be improved. This can be improved for sure. Uh, Nothing super fun about rubbing hands on pointy bolts and whatnot, but dude worked. But now all of these screws for kind of mating the platform here, the central frame to the rest of things, all interior. So those will mount down and through the top, and then there is one on kind of the magwell heel plate kind of deal. Um, and then two on either side. I don't know why I keep throwing this thing, using it for demonstration purposes here. The two on either side of the slide to kind of mount it to the carriage here. If I can figure out how to minimize things more, I totally will. But with the pair of these are recessed enough, because I was gonna go ahead and use my cap heads, because I got a bit of a thing for them. There's that real heavy hex pattern, doesn't like to strip, and then the kind of the depth on it. It just the more I take things apart and open them up, especially when you're dealing with like Chinese screw kits, even your like shallow like these guys, your countersunks will like strip out on you. So like I kind of tend to prioritize the big chunky bastards if I can. But I might re-release that, just add a chamfer to the inside, countersink it, lays flush, lays flat, everyone's happy. We'll figure out something. It's not, it's, 10 seconds in CAD, we'll figure it out. All right. So yeah, these just slot together, and they hold pretty well. Like I'm honestly more impressed with that than I thought I'd be. There was a bit of, I didn't have these like two prongs here initially. They don't print super well. I'm gonna have to keep working on that one. More so from a support standpoint, they're kind of a pain in the ass to print, but all printability things are going to be kind of a target moving forward. This just kind of slots up underneath it from either side, and then it just pushes back into place until it's kind of seated on both sides. It's back far enough once the kind of the chamfered surface here kind of meets the chamfered inner edge, and then it locks it in place. The shoot, getting ahead of myself. Brass inserts. Where'd I toss my iron? Hey, there we go. And more chat. All right. Thanks. So yeah, if you're not Shaq, it doesn't fit well in the head. You know what? There's something like, all right, like, say what you will. I will maintain. No, fuck. I'll die on this hill. We have. I do some arcade repair and restoration stuff, and like Hap made a ton of guns. And there's what's the other one? There's this other like really shitty off-brand I find every now and then, where it's like Action Recoil something, but they make like the worst fucking. Anyways, they're like this big. They're like these like tiny little guns. You pick them up, and it's like, I mean, you guys have played Area 51. I think those were like Hap by default. Um, like it's whatever. They're kind of tiny. They're much nicer. I'll cut them some slack. They're much nicer for things like if I'm feeling spendy and I got two quarters weighing me down, and you just picking up two at a time and having a blast. Wicked. The lightweight tiny guns, great for that. But something like this, where like I don't know, like it's big, it's meaty, like the slide goes, it kicks. It's the reason I kind of stick with them because like it's got more of the giggle factor than anything. Um, Even if I've given this to like cousins that are like I don't know 5, 6, like they get two hands around it and they start like it starts kicking. It's all fun. Yeah, holding the chain holding it did. Fuck the chain too. What's with the so like so many like few remaining arcades nowadays. You get the issues with uh like things in disrepair or the nowadays even some of these places that are like big destination points like my girlfriend's from Chicago. We go back up to visit on the regular. I head out to shit, it's gonna kill me. It's like the west end of town. It's like maybe 25, 30 minutes out of Chicago. Galloping Ghost is there. Fantastic place. Awesome selection of stuff. And to be fair, their light gun stuff is all really well maintained. All the House of the Dead's beautiful. Ghost Squad, the screens work, everything's cool. No issue with the hardware there. But like even some of their stuff, like you start seeing like the tubes are dying and like like weird things with like I think it's like it's gonna kill me. I can't remember what it was. They've got something there that also has that suffers from that same issue where you got like 16 inches of like cable chain. That one weighs a ton. You're totally right. But then two like fucking like you're like yanking on it. Like please anything for more slack, because like you're just like straight up against the tube. You know, it just feels weird. Anyways, I'm gonna get off track. Actually, fuck it. More chat stuff. Front and rear. So back to start. Just perfect. Multi-part concept. The multi-part concept is really cool for the filament mixing and matching. I saw some really awesome stuff through the over the last like year or so, where like this guy here is like all reliable. This is the first one that I built, and I just kind of stuck with it. And I've opened it up to like tweak with a few things, but it hasn't broken down on me. But like man, you got people in the chat like RG 2020 who was doing some of the icon mods. Real early on, it was Sam Revolt who was doing some of the button mods. Um, and then a handful of the people that are just doing some things like real pretty. Is it Christoph is the other one that was doing some of the mods for like some of the wacky pattern designs and just kind of the slide with all the triangles and stuff in it. Um, and then Prozac, all the other guys, a handful of the other people that are doing some of these like super pretty kind of like color schemes. Yeah, I'd it sucks. Like I think I don't know if this one lends itself quite well to the mixing and matching as much. Um, the one thing that I was trying to nail here was that I've got a couple home arcades and I've got a couple like our makerspace is a small arcade space, and I wanted something that was a little like cleaner and professional that I could kind of like slap on the side. Where like this is printed in like 0.28, and like the camera's obviously doing me a big favor hiding layer lines and stuff, but like um, it was like the 0.12 or whatever it is, whatever Bamboo's like super pretty setting is by default. Great. And with some of like the matte filaments especially hides all the lines, so like if you're not like looking at it, or like even as like a 2 or 3 footer, like you're like injection molded part, like that's what I was trying to go for here, something that was a little smoother and cleaner. But like I have 2 or 3 other frames that are like half baked at the moment that I'd love to mess around with. um I don't think I shared it. I don't know. I think I was also a little worried that people would like fucking crucify me for not knocking out V2. Um, that I would share progress of other projects going on. I do have a working pump action um, assembly. That's kind of where I want it. So I don't know. I like I said, in the next month or so, you guys should probably see some other stuff from me that isn't you know um, V2 related or specifically around here. So I'll work to get this out to make sure it's polished and ready to roll with the help of the community and everything like that. If anyone's got some uh, um, uh, like suggestions, feedback, whatever, we'll work to get this thing ironed out and then published, documented, keep it rolling, and then I'll have some cool stuff hopefully here soon. Just got back from Galloping. Oh hell yeah! Just got back from Galloping Ghost last week. Their House of the Dead machines all had gun. No, no shit. All right, last time I was there was like, shit. I want to say it was like March. Um, man, that's a bummer. Did you wind up finding the machine that was hiding in the back? It's the far back left corner, kind of through the whole wing of like shmup games. Um, they had the Castlevania light gun game that was kind of hidden back in the corner, like because it's got like a weird fabricy thing that like is draped over top of it, so you'd almost assume because it's in a dark room that you look at it and you're like, oh, that's an out of order machine or something. Nah, it's fantastic stuff. It was really really cool. It was cool to see the way that place changes 6 months in between. But fucking bummer the guns were all having issues. The I think the one that I was there last time that wasn't working for me was Resident Evil Gun Survivor 2, which is like one hell of a funky game. It's got that weird like the gun's mounted on a joystick, so you had to push it forward, backwards, left. Like it's not on like the like potentiometer arm like a silent scope. Like it's like a legit like a slider joystick like the PSP had. Like it moves flush to the ground, but like forward, backwards, left, and right to like move yourself. And then there's like you do have the roll for like turning and not just strafing. It's super fucking weird. I think there was a PS1 version of that. I don't know. I never got around to playing that one. I think it had like one of those like weird options for like you'd play with the gun, but then you'd have the controller in the other hand or something. Sorry, just grabbing some water. All right, fuck it, I'm getting into this. Oh shit! If you ever play with ASA ABS, I've heard really good things with ASA. There's a gentleman at my makerspace who works for. Let's see, gentleman. I think he's like 30. That's weird. Anyways, it's a dude at the makerspace, works for GE, produces these like super awesome. Like I think he does the turbine engine design by day, but then produces scale models for the company at night and does all the designs there in the um, at the makerspace. So he's like got all the bamboos running like constantly producing these like 4.5 feet like uh, turbine models for like planes, all ASA. That was my first time seeing the filament. So like the sandability, the workability. I've never done the vapor smoothing thing, or at least I haven't in quite some time. Like I started printing back in like 2012, back when it was like ABS was it. Um, I mean, I guess there were others, but like ABS was kind of like pretty common. Um, and I remember my like couple vapor smoothing attempts just turned to goo, or like uh, 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 started looking like the guy at the end of RoboCop that gets the toxic waste treatment. Not good. All right, so I'm working with these brass inserts here that are 5 by what is it? 5 by 3. Um, so the 3 millimeter depth, 5 millimeter for the M3s. Um, I think I had some thicker ones potentially at one point that I had mentioned that I was going to be working with. Um, I don't know. If these guys wind up being issues to source, I know they're definitely not as bad as the V1, whatever the fuck it was I had. I don't know. I had bought those on like AliExpress. Fuck, probably like 2013 or 2014, and I just had them in my kit forever. The ones that were like 5.2 by 3.7 by M3. Fucking weird. Like nobody could source them. I didn't realize it was that weird until like people were all pitchforks about it. All right, I'm not super fantastic with this, and being on camera doesn't help. But let's see. My TS100 died recently, so forgive me. I've got the budget boy iron at the moment, but it's doing its job. It's a huge pain in the ass. You forget how, like, speaking of cords dragging things down and weighing more than the actual thing, I hate this. I hate this so much. This is the worst. I miss I miss my old TS100 with the tiny little like floppy cable, battery powered shit. I had some of those like leftover batteries from when I thought like FPV drone racing wasn't gonna like totally kill my my bank account back in like 2016 or whatever. Um, and those have been fantastic irons for uh, or fantastic batteries for that iron. You just plug it in, take it with you. Like I've been doing like field repair or like I got two Vulexes in and like rewiring the audio, like just bringing something with the cable or even that thing with the cable. Um, you just have like the little battery with it. So much better, so much better. All right, cool. We got the two in here. We've got three up front, and I think that's about it because I fucked up the slide, so the others are gonna be needing the reprint. So I'll reorder, get this reprinted. I don't know. Fuck it. I might run to Micro Center today and give that a shot. It's not too far down the road. People clown on clown. Oh shit. That's what I get for looking back at chat. God damn. People clown on Ohio, man, but I'm like close enough to most of the things that seem to be working pretty well for the whole like maker hobby deal. Solid maker spaces, fucking Micro Center, who like I didn't think would do so well on computer stuff. Like we built a computer recently for my girlfriend, and man, sometimes you just walk up to those guys and you're like, well, I was gonna spend $300 here, and then somebody will be like, wait, don't leave, buy the part. Um, Throw motherboards and stuff at you for like fucking pennies. No, I'm not doing the super cool guy thing with this one, but fucking I'm not trying to push it through like this last one. Hopefully I didn't fuck that up too much. Figure it out. A cool. Let's see. That was a reflex. Let's see. All right, throwing this down there. Not burning myself on stream. Wicked stuff. All right. So, we'll just do a test fit real quick. Make sure everything's cool. So, pops right in. All right here. Feeding your wires down the back, but let's kind of wrap around front here in a little bit. Cool. Pops right into place. Got all our stuff mounted. Things are cool. Gun. Let's see. Did a quick assembly. There's my screws. OH. Oh man. So my dad is like off the boat, right? Like immigrant, and that was kind of his first thing is here that he came to America, went to OSU, and now won't shut up about it. So like the normal guys you catch that make it their personality, yo, all of the uh, American exceptionalism that they were kind of worked up on in the old country comes through in fucking OSU, man. That guy is nuts for it. Yeah, no shame in it for sure. I just there's something kind of fun about laying into the meme of it though. I'm always down to kind of clown on things a little bit. All right, sweet. That's in. That's in. The uh, tolerances are one thing that I'm going to continue to work on. I think I've got most of the things because this is like my second gun that I'm figuring out, but just the way that certain clearances or tolerances have been working out, I'm trying to kind of improve things a little bit. Um, I think the overlap here could probably be a little better. There seems to be like a little bit of a seam on things that shouldn't be there. Um, but otherwise, goes together pretty all right. Holds up. It'll sturdy up in a little bit once we get some more stuff in it. But a gun. Oh shit! You know what? I think that one up front's pulling through a little bit. You know what? Fuck it. We'll figure that out a little later. Just getting through the basic build. Make sure that's cool in a bit. The um, uh, wide angle lens. I didn't want these hanging off the front. I didn't like the look of these. Kind of like where people would just hang them off the end. I was trying to figure out a way to hide these. It does make the gun a little longer because I was kind of trying to shrink things. I say a little longer, but I mean this is like um, not far off. It is a little. It does feel a little bit more sleek and lightweight than this dude fully assembled, but the capturing a the lens here, you add the kind of the full length there, half inch or whatever to the build. That's what it is. Uh, these, as far as I understand, are pretty consistent. I've ordered three different, or what appeared to be three different OEMs, like cell phone lenses. Man, fucking butterfingers. Um, these are pretty consistent. I've had all of the fisheyes, all of the wide angles, um, kind of look exactly how I like. Like they fit. They're the same diameter, same depth. If there's a case where somebody finds one, it's just another thing of either shoring this up or boring it out. Super easy CAD operation. Also, don't don't know what I was doing with the fucking, like I said, the what's that, the elephant's foot where it squished all the the infill for the little stamp out. Fuck it. I did get some plastic housing. Um, oh, with plastic housing. Oh, okay. The lens. No shit. Okay. So someone's cheaping out. They're not even doing the the metal on them. I haven't seen those. I might need to order a set to account for those. Um, I'll definitely let's see. Like that amount of trigger play on the V2, satisfying. There'd be less as you shrunk it. Yeah, actually. So let me pop this in real quick. I find just pushing it against the table and then putting downwards pressure on it seems to work. I'm still working on the lip here. I keep bringing it in just slightly. I don't want it to overlap the glass or the epoxy or whatever this is too much, but trying to minimize the amount of the metal that shows through. Maybe in my case it's a little worse because it's that bright red as opposed to something like black. I probably should have grabbed one of those instead. Eh, whatever. The this is going to be kind of locked in. There's two pieces for this nose cone assembly. It's this guy here. Might slap a button up front, and then the kind of the DF robot cam mount, which just kind of pops into place, and it's just held right in. I'm going to put some super glue on that. It does kind of prevent you easily from taking out your lens. Um, but I mean, hopefully, like once you're in, you're in. And reprinting these is not that bad if you got to crack it. Like I cracked one earlier as I was kind of pulling this back out of the test gun. Um, it's all of a tiny bit of plastic or whatever to reprint. I think it was on the two that I've snapped open. It's just been these that I've had to replace on. But I don't know if I can come up with something a little bit more clever. I'll do that. I'm just trying to minimize the amount of screws and shit that I'm also trying to put in here. Man, a lot of a lot of Ohioans in here. Hell yeah. So this guy, index is in on the front. There's two little kind of reliefs here for the two little cuts on the side. Just kind of drops in and then clicks right into place. Stays pinned by itself for the most part, but then I've got the two screws up front to drop this down into. I'm definitely feeling the flex in this now that the ones just wanting to pull out on me. So like this whole thing's got a little bit of a fuck. It wasn't like that with the first design. Fuck. That's probably gonna warrant a little bit of a shoring and redesign on the either on the center, maybe not the center mount. Might have to find a place to sneak another screw in there. Fuck it. Cool. Um, kind of like the rest of it, just more M3s throughout. Wish I had prepared a little better for my an actual proper screwdriver in here. Not on the IKEA routine with the Allen wrench. Busting thumbs on these things. There we go. Oh shoot. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't think I read the last half of that. Yeah, if wondered if there would be less if you shrunk it. So the trigger hangs a bit far forward for by default. Um, I, I don't know if it's just my sloppy CAD work or something. Um, it wants to hang forward a little more than I wanted it to, kind of where even if I shore up the front here to push it back up from the top, it seems to always just hang a little too much, and then I have issues with this thing like um, one to hang and catch. So the actual limiting factor here is there's a little trough in the trigger guard, and then this kind of serves as your end stop. Um, so that's your limiting factor for your trigger. Now, that's another one that's going to be a little funky. I swore I hit print, but Bamboo told me, you know, hey, your print's finished, and I got nothing off the printer. Um, like 30 minutes before the stream started. The like I said, this material has not been super fun. I did not get the give it the proper time to calibrate things. I've just been like go 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 printing. Like I've got a trash bag in the corner. Or trash can rather, in the corner with just full of probably 5 or 6 full guns worth of plastic of like revisions and revisions and revisions, uh, and I haven't stopped to tweak my support settings because I figured if I get things that are a little sloppy, um, it's probably not too bad, um, until all of this garbage inside the trigger, which is like not as smooth as the other side, and that extra like mil or half mil of material is causing it to catch. Um, like I said, the universe has been throwing curveballs today. I thought I'd be prepped. I know this is mostly prepped, um, but you know, it could be a hell of a whole lot better. I know I'm not showing you guys the best of the best or the perfectly working gun, but fuck it. Like I said, we'll get there. We'll have some revisions by probably one more by the end of the weekend as I go and I take stuff off of this one to revise it, and fuck, just releasing it I think is probably the best thing I can do at this point because otherwise I'm just gonna keep spinning my wheels. This has been through 5 or 6 total binnings where I've like just taken all my CAD files and dumped them and started from scratch, to find something that I was like happy with. Um, and this is feeling much better with the slack given that it definitely has some printability tolerance and kind of a little bit more work going into the present beta files than might be necessary. The think of it like a model kit more as a kind of your IKEA Lego kit kind of assembly deal. We'll get there. The last gun I think it was I think I released it early March, and it took 2 or 3 weeks to iron out all the major bugs, and then it was just like a working gun for 95% of people. Kind of moving forward from there. We'll get this one there. But in the meantime, documentation's sake, this should still serve pretty well. If you just need to like flip through and if you can catch me working on it in between bouts of talking about Micro Center in Ohio. Let's see. Yeah, I've got fucking iFixits are cool, but the thing with those is like I keep getting these like Chinese ones where like they all take the same bits, and down in my workshop, I'm like you lose them, and I'm not the neatest of dudes when it comes to like I'm end game is old man workshop. You know what I'm talking about? Like everything has its place, everything is maintained. Uh, Dust collection, all the fancy stuff, actual spots for things. Not not my present setup. I'm a fucking wreck. Um, but I probably would do better next time to collect the right bits beforehand rather than panic and kind of run up here at the last minute. Cause like this looks infinitely. It's like it's not great, but it looks infinitely better than my previous setup, which was using a C270 Logitech. I don't know. I used it for a computer vision project like years ago, and I thought, oh, that'll be cool as a webcam. I'll just like stick it to this like this arm that I've got. My current thing bolted to. This is just my phone to something called like VDO Ninja. Um, Super cool. Seems to be doing its thing. Like I'm sitting right here looking at my computer to the side, and like the latency's not like awful. Um, but I set all this up I think like 30 minutes before the stream because I was like, oh shit, there's no way this is gonna work. Like, what if I take my laptop and I hang it off the edge of something? Like, I don't fucking know. Any way that I can keep my fucking ugly mug off screen and then show you guys what you guys need to see. All right. So, because of that, sorry, but like the setup here is pretty easy. Like it goes in. There's a divot that this catches on in the rear, that seats down into, and then this pushes up and in, real sturdy, to the front here. There we go. And then that would just like affix or glue in place. Probably something you could do before you dropped in the frame from up top. Make it a little easier than fighting past the trigger. But like I said, now I got the issue with the trigger rub on the side, and I think those things are going a little loose on me. My brass inserts, so I might have to shore up the design a little bit there. Um, oh yeah, that's definitely pulling straight up and out. Jesus. Oh man, we're going about as smooth as I thought we'd go. Anyways, the heel plate is not half bad. This one goes in pretty simply. There's a tooth on the front, or a tongue. I don't know. Um, a and then a little slot that fits into. So it just seats in up front, and then pushes in from the back, and then you're good to go. Stays on pretty tight by itself, but there's a screw on the rear half here to kind of seat it in. Um, Into that though is kind of the current working model for the kind of rumble retainer, which is thick as hell. But also, I've had to keep shoring this up because like the more it rattles, the wackier things feel. Fuck, I wish I would have taken some videos or something for uh, um, um, the Discord or whatever, so you guys kind of laugh at my setup there, where this thing was just batting against it was rattling around and then bouncing off the inside of the case, making the worst noise. My cats were freaking pissed. But the rumbles here, pretty solid little dudes. I'm really digging these. Way better form factor than those huge ass like Xbox 360, PS4 rumble motors. Stuff it like right up and in. Dude's incredibly tiny. Fuck, that light is like harsh. I don't know. They work super well, but they come with this annoying foam on them, which I mean might have been helpful in terms of like vibration damping, but like fuck it. I'm just gonna pop these dudes in and then kind of same thing like the OG, just a tiny little dot of super glue up top is enough to keep it from going anywhere, and then it just works. Man, that earlier movie magic thing would have like worked out really well here if I had like Rachel Raid myself one in advance. Fuck. This stuff is a huge pain. It's like that first half inch of it came off really smoothly. Alright. We'll go to the comments while I'm doing this. Let's see. It is pretty good. Nothing to complain about. Awesome. I think I'm kind of, the nerves are dying down a bit the more I'm in front of this thing. So all the bits are universe. Even between the, yeah, I guess you're right. I've messed with the iFixits. That same, like, fuck, I don't even know what is there like a metric for that? That specific bit size? Is that like a, like whatever this like hex measurement is. I don't fucking know. I just want to order a huge bucket full of those in multiple hex and Allen or hex and then like security hex, Torx, all those sizes. Those are the ones I like tend to lose. It's like not being an automotive guy. I don't lose the 10 millimeter bits. I lose all the hex and Torx bits. It's like digging through my box earlier and just finding these, or even just the ones that were still there, and you're just like, oh man, 9, 11, son of a bitch. Like, what am I looking for? Every screwdriver I've had has shared those bits. Okay, okay. Hell yeah. Yeah, I figured they're common. I mean, they must be considering, like, everyone's kind of using them. Just to know if there was, like, a specific, specific designation for that. Busting out the Exacto. And there is definitely a bit of a technique to work it on camera. I'm like so used to sitting here like a T-Rex with my arms so close to my chest as I work on stuff. Fuck this foam. So what's it been like? All of 12 hours maybe, half a day since I posted those files. Um, uh, I think it was and I forgive me with the name if it's Raj, isn't like Roger or like ROG, Mr. Raj Cool or ROG Cool. Uh, God damn, my guy, uh, you're friggin' insane. I figured it's like I know you guys are all over the place. I don't have just like you know I wasn't releasing that to a bunch of sleeping goobers here in the U.S. But man, the international guys fucking with me. That's nuts. They had like a full gun already printed. Oh, and on the topic of print speed, holy shit. Heat gun maybe? Yeah, no, that's that's a solid deal. I think I'm just trying to like prevent running around my house like a doofus trying to look for stuff in a panic. Um, the speaking of the print times, um, I printed my V1. I was almost exclusively Ender. And the big issue there for me was like 2018 poorly maintained Ender V1. Um, awful. That dude had like slop intolerances like Roger's okay. Hey, there he is. Got the government name on here, man. All right. But yeah, terrible tolerances, slow as shit. I think it took me something like a day to 2 days worth of like actively monitoring prints of like starting one in the morning, going to work, coming home, starting more prints, going to sleep, waking up, starting another one, and then coming back home and then having a full gun kit ready to roll. Um, I don't know, 20, 26, 28 hours of active printing maybe. Uh, this dude, and I'm a little uh, I think what is it two? No, it says right there, 256 by 256 by 256 on the bamboo. So slightly larger build plate than like the 200 that you were getting on an Ender, which I kind of assume is everyone's kind of typical like since like 2017
2017, 2018, that seems to be the kind of standard build size that like 200, 200, 250, or like 200, 200, 300, or like whatever roughly within that like Ender footprint was like what all of those like Chinese kits and clones and like, even like Prusa and stuff. It fits on most of these beds. Um, the this being just a tiny bit larger, even if I was still working with him, because I don't typically fill out the full footprint, um, and I'm printing most of these parts like on end, because they typically tend to print like the four grip piece here straight on its nose. The pistol grip part is um, with this part here facing down. But everything else is typically kind of facing up and saving a ton of space, or conserving a ton of space. Does fairly well. Um, I can knock out. I think a full gun is something in the range of like 9 hours, 8 9 hours, on a single bed if I've got all the parts going at once. If I'm kind of breaking it up, like if you just wanted the critical components, the grip, the four, and then the plate to get you rolling, as well as the front here, like everything you need just for a working gun, uh, probably about 6 hours, solid stuff. Huge improvement. All right, I think we're in good shape. Where did I run to with these parts? Man, I'm going crazy. Where did I set my thing down? Holy shit. All right. Someone put me in a home. I'm losing my mind. Yo, Blue's Clues with the audience. Did anyone see where I put the wrong? Oh, fucking hell. Jesus. I am I'm 29. I should not be losing my mind like that. All right. Right in front of me. Sweet. So with this, I was finding that if I could take the uh, um, the leads here for the rumble motor, and I mean it's you could see in the molding they're kind of bent to, or there's like channels here designed to be kind of pushing these, and you just flare them out a little bit to where they're feeding out the sides, stiffer than they look. A Awesome. And they kind of flare out to either side. Just kind of remember your polarity, or I'll wire them before I drop them in. But at this point, it should sit straight down in here. Very minimal wobble or wiggle. A little bit of the dab of super glue kind of takes care of the rest of that. This dude sits in, good to go. From underneath here, you can kind of see where the wires are would fish out the side, where the might have to turn it just slightly, but um, there we go. Yeah, you got the tabs kind of popping out the side here to kind of fish your wires through. The one here on the side fishes out because this is facing the front of the gun. It would fish through and then out, so you can kind of like pull it up and around with the rest of your cables that are coming from your like GX16 termination on your heel plate there. It's actually not another bad thing to get rolling. I think everyone's kind of familiar with these at this point. Um, Man, speaking of tolerances, uh, I may have copied from the. I just directly wired my last one, um, so I had like wires hanging out the ass end. Um, I will definitely have to fix the tolerances there. Holy shit. Okay. Oh man, embarrassing myself on camera. Fuck it. We're can make believe here that I prepared enough in advance and widened the hole appropriately, um, instead of just take measurements from an old CAD file that was probably the wrong revision. Um, Measure twice. Don't fuck yourself. Learning things. All right. Anyways, the piece here is then again it's just keyed to pop right in, and then this is a piece that when then also shoot there it goes, kind of glue uh, right in as well. Just kind of let it set, do its thing. It should have enough room for your wires to come out. The rumble wires join the rest in the loom, kind of go up straight and through. Um, Not sure if I can work some kind of like way of like a means of wire management into this to hold the wires offset or of the kind of the rotating deal here, so nothing's getting chewed. If you've got some particularly loose wires hanging out, but still things to kind of work with. Um, the dude just pops in, good to go. Life's good. We're set. Mostly together. From here, if I had a working slide, two brass inserts, two brass inserts, slides going right down on top. But then, man, that guy's in there looking a little on the wax side with all that goo hanging off the side where those tree supports kind of decided not to release, where it doesn't want to hang all the way forward. But yeah, it's kind of together. The gun is mostly here. Like I said, beta stuff to knock out and fix. Um, I'll definitely be getting around this evening uh, um, to a micro center trip. Thank you again on that one, Roger. Major thanks. I'll go exchange the donation immediately for some emergency PLA because like I don't know if it's something I could snag easily off the ass end here, but oh, the excuse the goofy roll here. I am down to I was pushing it close, so I will be running out to grab some more here in the next little bit later today. So I just step out for a few. Did I miss where the PCP goes? No shit. No, thank you for reminding me that. Give me just a second. Let me take this guy out. That's right. That does not go there. Does this make sense? Front and rear for larger print to print in one. Oh, okay. So you're saying like combine the two as a single part for people that have the print beds to accommodate. Yeah. Um, I mean, I could definitely do that. Um, Typically, I'm working with like the lowest common denominator in mind, or like whatever the majority of people are kind of working with. Um, so like there's a um, worry that if I was like releasing, uh, um, I try to cater to those guys first. I could definitely come around with modified parts for a single print if you've got the space for it. Um, so I'm thinking about that now. That's considerable, considerably decent. Actually, you know what? I might be able to squeeze that on a bamboo. All right, yeah. I was about to ask. I was like, man, you must have a pretty huge ass printer if you can squeeze all this stuff as one piece. It's like those like 300 millimeter Vorons or whatever. Um, oh shit, I'm sorry, Joe. Yeah, I totally missed your thing. Yeah, the bamboo. Um, I want to say, yeah, I'm definitely not doing ludicrous. Ludicrous is fun. Like I've printed out. I think since I've had this, I've printed out about 3 or 4 benchies just to sit and watch them go in like 14 minutes. With like, I watched the first one. Then my girlfriend came home from work, and I was like, "Oh my god, you got to watch this." Then a buddy came over, and I was like, "Oh my god, come here, crack a beer." A whole deal. I'm looking at my settings now. I've got Bamboo open. Um, yeah, I'm at 300 millimeters a second presently with generic PLA. K1 Max, my man, how you been digging that? The printer. It seems like they ironed out a lot of their early issues with it. Like I mean, like most things, I think even the Bamboos came out and they had like a few speed bumps at launch. Like, I've got a buddy that has one and he seems to be really digging it. I am really jonesing for that whole like enclosed print space thing, so I might have to snag the P1S upgrade kit or something. Because even in my little workshop, trying to fight drafts and stuff, where I think I have things all set up just right, uh, still gets a little funky sometimes. Where like I had a lift the other day. It was like one of my first major like issues with the print on this project, because usually with these like the K1, the Chitty, X Max 3 or whatever it is, the Bamboos, those have been so, or even the Vorons. Like we've got a Voron at the makerspace that somebody made. um you just press print and then you just get the part and you don't have to think about it. It's fucking crazy. We're living in the future, guys. um let's see. The new one is better now. Hell yeah. A P1S with AMS. I fuck man, the AMS is something that I was looking at. Like, do I do I snag an AMS? I mean, for the people that we're talking about, like, the lack of the ability availability to do your like uh color mixing and stuff for this design, um stuff like that I think would get neat. I'm sure I could come in here and get all sorts of, you know goofy with all sorts of wacky rainbow colors or whatever. But um, dissolvable supports, my guys, or like whatever doesn't interface with PLA to like become a fucking stone like this. Like even if you're coming in with like side snips and just taking away at it, like it just doesn't want to, like, nothing nothing about this wants to come off. It just turned to absolute stone on me, which is a bummer because like I could see the I want to see these teeth. Uh, because this was my crackhead project from yesterday where I was like, you know what, I'm gonna finish a slide in time for the beta files to drop, or not the beta files, but like the stream or something. Nope. Oh man, like I said, the universe throws curveballs. So fuck it. Um, Tune your support settings. Lesson learned. Or buy an AMS and then get bougie with the support filaments. I don't know. Oh shit. Okay, I was getting distracted. Here we go. Assemble PCB. So, actually, one sec. Let me reach in and snag the bag. Cool. JB's got these PCBs. If you are like me, and this is not a sales pitch or anything, uh, I'm not much of a salesman. I'm in this just for efficiency's sake. I create rat's nests. All of my solder. I think there's a couple embarrassing pictures over the last year of like, show us the inside, and I finally cracked the inside of my gun. Um, Awful. Wires everywhere, stuff everywhere, things jammed in, looks like shit, runs like shit, not easy to service, not easy to maintain. Not even easy to assemble. Honestly, the whole like build everything outside and then just tuck it in. Uh, um, it's like the whole like it became that whole issue of like rolling a sleeping bag. Like you pull it out for the first time and you're like, it makes sense how something this size fits in this tiny bag, but you can never roll it to the right size to fit in there again. It it's that frustration was insane on the V1 for me at least, and it had to be for other people. Like obviously, there's better people out there who are better equipped for the wiring, the electronics. A handful of people were designing some like really wicked PCBs. Props to the guys that were posting their stuff on like Oshpark, Prozac. Uh, um, I think it's like Moon T, but backwards. That guy's awesome. All these other dudes that are out there doing like PCB designs, fantastic stuff. Um, but these, not bad. Love them. Like everything fits right here. This is all your stuff. Obviously, you got to run your wires and stuff, but the solution that I have presently, also something I'm going to work out in the beta, um, but works fairly well in the meantime. The board is the Pro Micro is shoot okay. The Pro Micro is soldered flush, so you can take like your like headers that come with these, trim the plastic back, and then just solder it straight once you've already soldered one on. And then otherwise you're just doing your components as is. Your cameras from DF Robot come with the little like what are those like DuPont connectors already attached. Uh, I just took another bit of the uh, um, male standoffs or male leads here straight through the board, plugs right in, easy enough. Easy to take out, easy to maintain, easy to troubleshoot or service or whatever. Um, but um, I've got these guys too. I don't know if you guys. I don't know if I was like really uh, pushing these for V1 or anything. I think I might have because I think I did use them. Um, they don't make Pro Micros with solderable headers, which sucks. The excuse always seems to be like, oh, just hop into like KiCad or KiCad or whatever and like do your own board and then flash it and put all the necessary. It's fucking dumb. I don't want to do that. I want to spend $3 and get a little board, put it in something, and then use it. Um, but putting a um, micro USB connector on these things adds like a friggin' inch to the end of this board. Not cool. They have these little dudes, which are awesome, which is just a little micro USB connector with a tiny little thing of pads to solder to, and then it's real hard to see. There is some information. I want to say maybe it's just ground and whatever. I don't know. These are super easy to work with. This solves all the problems. Another thing, like you're ordering from AliExpress already, uh, add $1 to the thing. They'll send you a bag of like 10,000 of these. You know, with along with the order. Slaps right in. Life's good. Saves a ton of space. And then this guy here slides in from underneath along the bottom of the gun. You'll see there's some like teeth to capture it in the back, and they're just tall enough to catch the flush mounted board here. With just enough space to kind of like get through where the rest of this mounts, and then the other end kind of holds down in to this little trough at the end. See if I can find it. And then, oh shit. Oh man, there's really an art to this working on camera. Been watching YouTube for years. These guys that do this regularly deserve some serious credit. Um, and you can see there's like a little lip that this sits up against. Um, the locking feature for that lip isn't 100% yet. but it's serviceable. The test gun that I had, I should have. I don't know why I disassembled the test gun, thinking I should have just dug all the parts, but I should have just built another thing from scratch. I don't like. Again, I should have prepared a lot better for this, but um, the gun here, I think on the test one, I was just using like hot glue to fix that to that bottom there, and then just keep it in. Like you can just peel off the dab afterwards. Doesn't take much effort. Um, I will come up with something a little bit more robust there for the feature there, or maybe if someone else has some solid ideas or whatever. Like I said, over the next month, as we troubleshoot and get this ironed out for a full release, we'll be in pretty solid shape. Um, but yeah, all your stuff fits here. You still have plenty of space on the sides to wire in if you wanted to come in from behind here and throw some buttons. I've been working on a button panel. Um, at the moment, I was using little 8 millimeter by 8 millimeter rubber dome tactile switches. They seem to be pretty cool. I do really like um, uh, RG 2020. Last night, scroll up a little bit, shared a his button design for kind of easily implementable buttons with like prefab plastic caps on them. Um, Fantastic stuff. Looks like it's super easy to print, easy to implement, easy to install. He's a friggin' monster with his CAD stuff and his real clever designs. Might go about implementing something like that for the side there for those who are interested. Um, and I mean, if you're the kind that can't go without it in the meantime, if you're brave enough to take a crack at beta stuff, these guys, these 16 millimeter arcade buttons, um, or these are like service buttons. Whatever I pulled these out of, these dudes still would fit if you either want to drill in from either side or you wanted to give it a go on the front. This is the same spacing as the original design where people were kind of chopping stuff out and putting it up front. But I think that's roughly the gist of things. Like I said, I'm running into some tolerance issues here as I ran reprints and kind of made some mistakes, but the gun goes together pretty simply. Like I said, it's kind of a two-part deal. You build your plate, and then once your plate is assembled, that drops into your frame of choice. The frame should bolt in with pretty minimal effort. One or two screws here. I might do something to shore up the center here if I can find a clever way to do that. Um, but the the design otherwise super simple. Let's see if I can or at least hopefully a little easier than V1 was for most people. Yeah, yeah. RG used the SketchUp for CAD. Okay, that's some harsh shade. Hey, you wouldn't happen to be. Oh shoot. Nope. There we go. Sweet. Yeah, it's in. There we go. Uh, I hope to kind of keep this design moving forward with most of the other things. Like I said, the shotgun that I've been working on is in three pieces. A grip, a body, and the barrel in that case. Whereas this is grip, body, slide. Typically, I'll probably stick to that moving forward, unless I do some particularly large pieces that require um, some larger prints. But hopefully, um, in the meantime, even if this isn't a super clean kit at the moment, we'll get it there. Um, if there's any feedback you guys have, like if you've got the filament to spare to do something like print out a grip. Give me some feedback on certain things here, like the ergonomics of it. It's still fairly meaty grip, but the kind of the more extreme um, um, kind of ergonomic reliefs or whatever you would I'm not a gun guy. I don't fucking know. Whatever you would call these. It makes it feel much easier to grab than the ODCON that had or the V1 that had the fucking like it was still like 25 30 millimeters out before you got those reliefs, so you were in that like really gripping something big kind of territory. I've given this to a few people so far. The youngest being a 6 year old girl. Worked for her single-handed, pulling triggers, like doing what it needed to do. Uh, Hopefully that's enough that I don't have to account for any kind of any extremes. Shack hands still accounted for. Baby hands slightly tested. So you guys, should be in fairly decent shape if you guys want to give something like that a go. Um, that's going to be probably one thing that I dig some feedback on. Also, if anyone is giving this a bit of a full print to give the beta design a go, and you have any more feedback on certain things like if you want to help rein in some tolerances, or you have some feedback like I believe it was RG earlier that mentioned if I take this and we flip this, the amount of uh, moving weight in the slide might serve to do some pretty awesome things for the end design. Uh, Anything like that, super open to it. Not huge changes that are going to be required to be made to kind of get this thing all dialed in. Kind of at its core, we've got gun. I mean, this plus PCB. I've had it on test benches. Solid enough, does its thing. Just a matter of getting the frame elements all kind of sorted. Um, I don't know if I've missed anything in particular. If anyone's got anything that you want to shoot me in the chat, I'll hang for a little bit. Um, I don't like I said I don't know if I'll have a full gun build, unfortunately. At the moment, I got to go back and do some pretty. Are the ergonomics on retail blasters bad? Um, the Ocon's big. The Ocon's big. Um, that is like I find it nice as like I'm grown dude. I'm 6 feet tall. I've got like this fits me well. Um, but also like I'm 1994, so like I grew up at the tail end of arcades. So like maybe it also kind of serves to my nostalgia for being like 6 and gripping on these things like Time Crisis guns that were maybe a little too big for my hands, anyways. And the solenoid wasn't as extreme, but I remember it being a little heavy because I was a tiny little kid with noodly arms. So the this I think is more an approximation of my own nostalgia for what I thought the arcade was kind of doing. This this is slimmed down a little bit to where like if you've used like I go back to hap guns because hap guns are particularly tiny. Um, Area 51, I think, is the most notable game that used hap guns by default. A lot of times now, if you walk into arcades, and you see guns that are like replacement guns, like even Time Crisis cabs will have hap guns on them nowadays because people just grab, cheap replacement parts. They don't want to pay for the solenoids. They don't want to pay for all the extra bits. Hap guns are stupid fucking cheap, so they grab those, they pop them in, but they're like real tiny, like tiny, like shit, I wish I were a firearms guy. I don't know much about actual guns, but like, um, uh, if I'm remembering properly, and I don't know if contextually this helps, and it probably definitely doesn't help for the non the non-gun toting U.S. Kind of residents here, but like your AR-15 pistol grip kind of deal, or like grip that you would have, those are typically pretty small, or much smaller than something like this. I used I bought one at one point. I don't know where it wound up at. Like a it's like Magpul sells them, like the just so I could take like real world ergonomics and model off of it as like a reference point. Those are very small, almost a little too small. If I were to make a gun that were no rumble, no solenoid, just um, lens or your like your camera, the lens and a trigger, um, I would probably go for something that size just because it's like nice and compact and light, and it would remove a lot of the complexity of like building stuff that would require things like big solenoids and big chunky things um, that don't need that kind of heft. Um, but yeah, if you've got a ODCON printed, Nathan, and you happen to be in an arcade, I think you might shock yourself, kind of going back to the Namco, Sega, even some of the American cabs, or your like kind of go to. I don't know. Sometimes you're at a bar, like they got like the big buck hunters or whatever. Even those have like tiny little grips on them. Um, I it's a pretty considerable difference. But this is like still fairly thick. I want to say it's 30 millimeters across as opposed to like 30, 35, 30, 750. I don't know. I know it was getting up there on the original because I think like the frame was like a good inch. Uh, no, was it 20, 25? So I guess it'd be a little over 30 millimeters. I want to say is how thick the frame was on the OG Oddcon. This is 30 millimeters wide here, so it's still thick, it's still big, but like these like detents in here are more severe, and I don't know if like that's just tricking my brain, but it fits better for me. Like the resting position feels like it's a like it sits more level in my hand. I don't know. I think I'm happy with the way that has turned out so far. But if somebody's got some kind of feedback, I am more than happy to change and tweak things and see what I can do to either slim things down or like adjust the ergonomics as well if I can make it more broadly accessible in doing so. The hell yeah. Um, I think that's mostly it. It's kind of my rambly walkthrough of V2 uh, uh, and, and kind of my uh, random musings. But hell yeah, if there's anything that you guys are particularly like in need of knowledge wise or like information wise about the way the build is going together, or if you want to shoot me feedback, uh, at Odwalla, you know my DMs are always open. They are a bit of a mess, so if you've got anything that's like super super big, an at in the channel is sometimes easier for me to find. um, I'm kind of a niche dude, but even I'm a little surprised at how much kind of activity I get. So sometimes like um, I come back to like 20 notifications in Discord and I panic and I like try to work through them slowly. But you'll definitely have a better time reaching me just in the channel, OddCon, Gun for IR / OddCon or whatever it is. Hit me an at, whatever. Throw an ad in here, piss off the mods, do something. I'll see it, and I'll get to implementing it. So in the next week or two, I will be aggressively tweaking these. Hopefully, I'll have something that's a little bit more tweaked, tuned, polished here in the next few days, um, and or probably by the end of the weekend, honestly. because as soon as I go to Micro Center and I get some PLA, I've got another 5 guns worth of filament, or 4 guns roughly, I guess, in a kilogram of filament. So I'll be I'll be printing. So yeah, definitely shoot me some stuff. Like RG says, yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. Shout out to today's sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends, Casper Mattress, Factor Meals, code Odwalla at checkout, 15%, all that fun stuff. Thanks, man. I'm glad you think that. I was working on this like I kind of fell out of love with the design thing. It was a little overwhelming where like you print something and then you release it and then it's like, oh shit, people are actually printing this thing, which I did not anticipate last year. And now there's way too many to count. And like then I found out there was a Facebook full of people that are doing this. It's fucking crazy. It blows my mind. But releasing something that met people's expectations for like a second round, I think was kind of a difficult thing to do. So I just after throwing too many of these revisions in the trash, I was like, man, if I have anything that I want something that has like that, like more professional kind of not professional, something a little cleaner, a little bit more polished that doesn't have the as goofy DIY charm as something like the uh, OG ODCON, where this is I think a little bit more on the I mean if you can like ignore the if you can ignore the awful print glob on the side from the it's actually preventing it from laying flush, but um, this is a lot more clean. I think a little bit more polished looking. Only 2 real visible screws at any given time. The one on the bottom stays pretty well hidden. The 2 on the sides, I think, kind of fit the design well enough um, that this is something that um, I don't know if you're looking for something a little less janky looking. Hopefully, this is the thing that's got the polish for you. And here it goes, just falling apart. So, hell yeah! Thanks for swinging by and kind of watching me stumble through some stuff on this one, guys. I'm going to get some stuff prepped, get rolling, go grab some filament, and then I'm going to come back and start hitting this. So, hopefully, I'll have some more updates for you guys throughout the day. Probably around 9, 10 p.m. if I've had the chance to do um, some reprints, because it takes me about 5, 6 hours for a reprint. I'll be able to get some results posted either today or by throughout the day or end of day Sunday, with something that's maybe working or improved. And if you guys have any feedback, if you're sacrificing some filament for the greater good, let me know. give me a shout out. I'll work as quick as I can to implement some stuff. Dude, for sure. Yeah, way less screws, visible screws than the first one. Like I don't even want to just 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, like you're looking at 13 screws on one side, 26 total, and then this big ugly seam down the middle. Yeah, like I mean it worked. Like I said, I built this. I was unemployed when I built this, and I just built it from like scrap I had laying around. So scrap filament bolts. These were uh, arcade service buttons, like the 16 millimeter buttons. Typically, like when you open a cabinet and you have like test menu and service menu. That's what these are for. So they're for like replacements. The standoffs, the big like aluminum things, were from like FPV, like drones, like the 250 mil that you'd build back in the day and race them. They each layer of the carbon fiber would be separated by like aluminum standoffs. That's all those are. Like this was all made from trash I had laying around, and the little bit of donation funds that folks graciously sent during the development super helped out. But I'm hoping that like this is sturdy. This is like no business being as sturdy as it wound up being. Because like this first gun should have been dead. This is like the first one I built. I never changed it. I haven't opened it since like I did like the test print or text or what is it the uh, fix slide fix one slide fix two kind of deals. Yeah, and it's just rock solid. It's been doing its thing. So hopefully that continues with this one once we get some things ironed out with it. And yeah, like I said, I'll get back to you guys. I don't know how to end these things. So yeah, subscribe, all the other fun stuff. Fuck it. Peace, gang.